मैं मानता हूं वबा के दिन हैं, मगर ये दिन भी खुदा के दिन है। दिलों से मायूसियां निकालो, जरा सा आगे शिफा के दिन है। So these 4 lines changed my perspective and they gave me so much motivation and a new, energy.
So whenever we miss one of the meetings, next time Mr. Osama Al Zamil himself is coming, and I still remember one time I was sitting in my office and he came. He literally, this gentleman sat like this, trust me, next to him, and he said, Rais, you don't realize what Toastmasters is all about. But once you know what Toastmasters is all about, you are never going to miss any meeting. And you will see this. And trust me, Hassan, when I was speaking on your channel, his words are echoing in my ears.
When it comes to my own personal experience, what happened with me 2 years ago, me, my CMO, and some other executives from my company, we were going for a meeting for a pitch of our company with one of the large companies here in Saudi Arabia. So while we were entering the building, my boss turned towards me and he said, Faisal, you're going to do the presentation today. As we were walking into the meeting room. And I just looked at him for a few seconds. I said, okay, no issues.
Contributing to success of a club, you have to find out a place where you actually feel where you can do something. If you want to do everything, it's not possible. And if you want to not be able to do something also, that's not possible. So I think one of the important things that is you should mentor. I think mentorship is a very important aspect to see how you can give back. So I think giving back to whatever little I have learned over the years, I think that has helped me a lot.
I'm Sharifa Al-Isa. As architect, structure skyscrapers, we at Toastmaster structure speeches. As a fitness instructor, trains the muscles. In Toastmaster, we train in public speaking. We shape our words in an impactful, purposeful, and creative way for a fantastic future. Thank you.
I think it's important for people to join Toastmasters in general, but Arabian Stallions in specific is because of the diversity and also the vibe as well as the location.
I've been to a few clubs. Every club has their own vibe. So Arabian Stallions, they have a different vibe. The key members, they decide they are what the club is. And at Arabian Stallions, the environment is really friendly. Don't take my word. You can visit us on Wednesday and come and see for yourself.
It's a very interesting story. I joined King Saud University in 2008, and I think after a few weeks, my boss told me that we have to go to a meeting after office, to a Toastmasters meeting. I thought it's something, some toast or manufacturing company. I said, okay, you can't say no to your boss, especially when you join a new company. So he took me to Arabian Stallions, and there I met a very wonderful, very handsome and very enthusiastic person, Rais Sayyid, and some other people, and we had a good meeting. Only 5 or 6 people were there. And after the meeting, I thanked Allah that I went through all this.
Myself, I am from India, a city called Hyderabad, which never sleeps. It's very famous for the pearls and diamonds, and I'm from that city, Hyderabad. I came here in Saudi Arabia almost, now it's been 25 years, and I worked in telecommunication company, although this was not my background, but luckily I got a job in a company called AT&T. I joined there and spent one of the best moments of my life, which became then Lucent Technologies. So those were my lovely years, 7 years. After that, I'm here in this company, which is called Zamil Group Holding Company. I'm working in a division, a trade and services division, which deals in chemicals, mechanicals. In fact, we are also nowadays involved involved in IT sector, and we are doing very great. And, my favorite sport is, like all of us, Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, cricket is one of our best games. So I played cricket.
The year was 2012. We had just gotten back from college, me and a friend of mine. We both grew up in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. After coming back from college and before you've started a job, you don't really have anything to do. So my friend had heard of this thing called Toastmasters, and it sounded like something interesting and something to go see what it's about. So that's how, just out of sheer curiosity, I went to a Toastmasters meeting. I didn't really know it's about leadership. What I heard about was public communication, about public speaking. So the leadership aspect was not conveyed to me before I joined Toastmasters. So once I joined Toastmasters, I joined a club called Sand Dunes back in 2012. And soon after, I was elected as one of the executive committee members of the club. And then, as does happen in Toastmasters, you have visiting Toastmasters from other clubs. So my friends like DTM Wakhas and Omar Khan, etc., these people, they were paying a visit to Sand Dunes, and they happened to spot me. I was giving a prepared speech. They caught me after the meeting and they said, of course, we're from the same background, from the same school. So they said, really, you have to come visit our club, Arabian Stallions. You're going to see that it's a completely different kind of club, and you'll really love it. On the request of my friends, I joined Arabian Stallions as a guest. So as soon as I joined Arabian Stallions as a guest itself, I felt that it's not as any other different Toastmasters club. It's not a generic Toastmasters club, because what makes a club the most important part of a club is how the people interact with each other.
So since my childhood, I always was a very keen public speaker, and it was in the 90s where I grew up in Riyadh. It was the first experience that I went to a Toastmasters club and felt the power of public speaking. And Arabian Stallions was through curiosity when I came back to Saudi Arabia. So I was looking at different clubs, and I loved the name because Arabian Stallions are the best horse breed in the world. So that's why I joined this club.
I was invited by my dear mentor, Omar Khan. He invited me to the very first meeting in Arabian Toastmasters, and I've been a member ever since.
So I got to know Toastmasters from my bachelor university, Arfat University, which is located in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. During my last semester, I was invited by one of my colleagues who wanted me to improve my public speaking and leadership skills. So that was in 2018. Now for Arabian Stallions, I was originally in Riyadh Toastmasters Club, but my exposure to all of the other Toastmasters has got me to explore other clubs, and I came to know Arabian Stallions because of that.
Well, it's quite a long story, so I'll just keep it brief. Like, I first joined Toastmasters as a gavel back in 2012 or 2013. But that was a short stint. I joined there, but I wasn't really interested in public speaking. I was a bit of an introvert. I was a bit shy, so it wasn't something for me. So then 10 years later, so it just came up to me like I want to do it. So I joined Toastmasters. I knew people here at Arabian Stallions.
I joined Arabian Stallions. Arabian Stallions is my first club. I joined it in 2008, and this is 2023, almost 16 years. So it speaks a lot, I love that. I love being part of this organization. I love meeting great people. I love listening to great speakers. I love making relations with new people. I love reaching out to the people. And the best thing about Toastmasters, about Arabian Stallions is normally the perception is people are join Toastmasters to improve their communication and leadership skills. But for me, it's more than that. For me, it's connecting to the people.
Hassan, to be frank, I feel so lucky to be a Toastmaster, and I'm feeling this interview feels me a kind of opportunity. If I'm not Toastmaster, then I wouldn't have been speaking like this. I wouldn't have been facing the cameras, the people, the audience. And as far as your question is concerned, when I joined this company in the year 2004, the owner of this company, Engineer Osama Al Zamil, who is at the moment serving as ministers, one of the ministers in Saudi Arabia, actually he started this. He was about to start this Toastmasters. So he was looking for some people, employees. Basically, he wanted to start a club for the corporate people, for the employees only. So that time what happened, me and there were other couple of guys in our company, we were around 8 to 10 people, and Mr. Osama Zamil himself, he came and he suggested, given some idea, the proposal of Toastmasters. In the beginning we were taking very easy. So what happened, by the way, I'm the chartered member for our club, which is called Arabian Stallions. And we joined, when we joined, the meetings were started, we were 4 to 5 people every week attending, then became 7-8 people, and we will not be able to run the whole meeting. So whenever we miss one of the meetings, next time Mr. Osama Zamil himself is coming. And I still remember one time I was sitting in my office like this, and he came. He literally, this gentleman sat like this, trust me, next to him, and he said, Rais, you don't realize what Toastmasters is all about, but once you know what Toastmasters is all about, you are never going to miss any meeting, and you will see this. And trust me, Hassan, when I was speaking on your channel, his words are echoing in my ears. So how these are visionary leaders. Great people don't become very easily great unless they are visionaries. So he is my visionary boss, my visionary leader. I'm so happy that Toastmasters Osama Al Zamil, man, thank you so much giving this opportunity.
I've been a member of this club for more than 10 years now, and as a member I always felt it like it was my second home, an escape from the harsh reality outside, and a great number of friends that I've made over the years.
It was a fantastic experience, memorable memories.
No, I actually joined Toastmasters recently. It's just about like 8 months, but at first I couldn't see the growth, the effect, but recently in the past few months I have been seeing improvement in my life. Like people are able to notice that I've changed a bit, like I'm more open, like with my friends, with my family, like they have seen me that I've grown as a speaker, as an individual.
In 1924, when Dr. Ralph Smedley founded the first Toastmasters Club, his vision was to share the magic of speaking with common people like me. And he started the first club, and then he reached out to more and more and more and more people. And today, more than 100 countries have Toastmasters clubs in the world, with more than 1.6 million members. So it means there are many people who need this club, who need these trainers, who need these mentors, who do not have the privilege, So this is the responsibility of everybody who is a member of this club, who knows about public speaking, who is a good leader, to share the knowledge, the experiences with the rest of the people.
So when we talk about Toastmasters, the tagline is where leaders are made. I think the most important and most fundamental part of a leader is that the leader has to lead from the front, not just delegation. We often confuse, because we are so hardwired by working in corporate environments. We think leadership is delegation. Leadership is solely directing people to do things. That is a very small aspect of leadership. But what I've learned at Toastmasters, and more specifically at Arabian Stallions, is leading by example. And I think that is the most important part, where you're not just saying things, or you're not directing people to do things. You say, this is what needs to be done. I'm going to take charge on this, this and this. And seeing that, people automatically, they are in a way instantly affected, instantly impressed, instantly motivated to follow, where they feel like every time somebody leads by example, of course one person cannot do everything. So whatever is left behind is so much easier to be picked up by other people, where they are not just pushing a cart, but they are at the front and they are following a leader rather just completing tasks. So that I think is unique at Arabian Stallions, and that is what I've learned at Arabian Stallions.
I think it's important for people to join Toastmasters in general, but Arabian Stallions in specific is because of the diversity and also the vibe as well as the location. So starting with the diversity, there are male, female, there are Arabic people and non-Arabic speaking people, which is very good because you want to improve your English skills, but also know how other people who have English as their second language would interpret the meeting. And for the location, you can always find parking. It's maybe for people who are from north or east, it might be difficult. But knowing Riyadh, I think the location is ideal, especially for the parking.
Sayyid Waqas, those who know Sayyid Waqas before 2008, they know it very well that I am an introvert. I was an introvert, but Alhamdulillah, after some years, now I can talk to somebody. I can go and talk to, I can say hi, I can talk, I can deliver a speech, I can talk to strangers, I can meet people. And not only that, meeting, talking, approaching, no, it's not the end. The end is, the growth is that I can build lifelong relations with the people. And this is because of this skill. This is because of this skill that I have learned. Because Toastmasters, public speaking is about, it's not only about giving your message. It is communication is the two end, the sender and the receiver, and the channel. You need to understand the channel. Is your message reaching to the recipient or not? Many times in our lives we see that the father is scolding his children, or the boss is abusing his colleagues. But the message is not reaching. Children are not following their parents. The biggest reason is because they do not understand the mechanics of communication.
I have made a lot of good friends. I have collaborated with some of the most exclusive speaking groups in the country. I have had the opportunity to, during COVID, when we were doing online meetings, I was able to meet a lot of people from across. And one passion that everybody shared was how to become a good communicator. And this is one thing which I felt closely related to, I think.
I view Toastmasters as the gym for public speaking. As a professional public speaker in conferences and exhibits, sometimes you need to do these practices such as table topics, long speeches, different things. All of these are practiced, as I mentioned, at gym. So whenever, as my calendar comes and goes with these events and these huge conferences, you're already ready, you've been there.
I personally benefited from Toastmasters in so many ways. So I will summarize them in 3 points. The first point is my personal growth. The second one is the soft skills that I can use in my career. And the third one is the connections and group of networks that I've made. So I'll start with the first one. For my personal growth, I'm a shy, reserved person. I wasn't assertive, but after joining Toastmasters, I was able to be more assertive. I was able to be more confident. And also I was able to share my story and share my experience with others without feeling shy anymore. Now moving on to the second thing, which is the soft skills for my career. time management is very important at work. So having all of the meetings timed, all of the speeches, they're timed. This was a very strong suit that I could apply at work. And also knowing how to speak to others in a professional manner, because not everyone receives the information the same way for other people. So knowing how to universally speak with others from different backgrounds, different cultures is not an easy skill. And for the third one, I would say the amount of people that I've networked with under the umbrella of Toastmasters, great leaders, great speakers, people who are engineers, people who have different job positions. All of this gave me the circle of people that I can count on, the exposure of who I would like to and aspire to be like, and who I would like to learn certain skills from. The pool is quite big, so for a human being it's important to have people around you with different backgrounds, different cultures, different job positions, so that you can grow yourself, you can explore yourself, and also to be able to talk to everyone.
Like many people said, my mentor Faisal Ahmed Jahania, the greatest mentor in the world and the most selfless person I have met in my life, and I'm saying it on record. This, the qualities of a true leader is that he leads from the front. He leads as an example. He is always the first person in the row. And to lead a good team, one of the very important skills that a leader has is communication, because leadership is about communicating. Leadership is about conveying. If you cannot convey, if you cannot communicate your ideas to your team, you cannot be a good leader. You cannot be an effective leader. So I believe as a leader is someone who can communicate his ideas, who can communicate his thoughts in a very effective way to the team, because once the team understands and they are inspired, only then they can do their best.
For a genuine Toastmaster, he should be always ready to help others. Basically what happens, once you become a permanent Toastmasters, you always look for a chance to help others. So this is, I think, one of the key qualities of a true and genuine Toastmasters. And I'm sure, Hassan, you might have noticed in most of our meetings and all, we try our level best to support our new members, something like that. Besides helping others, the best quality of a Toastmaster, he should become very professional, systematic, and not making any more basic mistakes, something like that. There should be a difference in between Toastmaster and non-Toastmasters. Even if you go to airport or any place, if somebody is speaking very nice, if you are a Toastmaster, Hassan, and somebody is speaking differently, you know, is this man a Toastmaster? How come this gentleman or this wonderful lady is speaking like this?
Well, leadership has, I think it's a very broad term. If you want to narrow down to Toastmasters, within a group of people in a room who meet every week, when one of the person who wants to do something which helps him or her become a little above or go beyond the rest, I think that is what true leadership is. The fact that you come on time, the fact that you try to help arrange something in the meeting, the fact that you try to put things in place, I think that itself speaks volumes about leadership. And this is how in Toastmasters, especially on a club level, we are able to contribute.
This question should be asked to the founders of Arabian Stallions, because they're the true leaders. They're the ones who bringing in mentees and other speakers.
Actually, this is a very interesting question, and I have seen countless situations, to be honest, in my life. But Toastmasters has taught me that communication, one of very important segments, one very important factors, elements of communication is understanding. Because if you understand the emotions of the people, only then you can address that nicely, only then you can handle the situation. And to understand that, you need to have the basic skills that is called active listening. The first lesson that we learn in Toastmasters is about listening. If you know what is active listening, if you know how to listen beyond the words, how to listen the feelings, how to listen the expressions, how to listen what is not said.
When it comes to my own personal experience, what happened with me 2 years ago, me, my CMO, and some other executives from my company, we were going for a meeting for a pitch of our company with one of the large companies here in Saudi Arabia. So while we were entering the building, my boss turned towards me and he said, "Faisal, you're going to do the presentation today." As we were walking into the meeting room. And I just looked at him for a few seconds. I said, "Okay, no issues." And Alhamdulillah, I did well. I did not have any hiccups, or I did not freeze on the spot. And I think my time at Toastmasters and all the time I've spent on stage has certainly helped me with that. Where if you are at any moment put on the spotlight, where you have to speak impromptu, where you have to think on your feet, and where your skills as a speaker are most important, are challenged, you do not freeze. That could have been a make or break moment. At the end, I did close that deal.
There are many challenges, especially in leadership. So number one, I think the biggest challenge is how do you keep the membership base going in your club? As if you want to look at club growth, you have to always ensure that members do come back, guests do come back, how you want to publicize or market your club, or at least what public speaking is about. That is one of the biggest challenges. I think it will always remain a challenge, especially in an urban city like Riyadh, where the traffic or the population is extremely high. People don't really have time, they're tired out of their work schedule. I think that would be the number one pressure that we all have in the club every time.
Honestly and truly, it's not going to be considered a challenge when you're dealing with a good people. It's considered a step, a situation. It's just a question. It's not a challenge. It's just something that we all need to figure out together. You've never felt that you're on your own at all. This is the beautiful thing about it. Even though Toastmaster, it's not a team player. However, when you're there, you feel like you're part of a team. Because of the people there, because all of the audience are part of the whole journey. So I wouldn't consider it even a challenge. It could be considered as situations, question marks, a mystery at that moment. It's a mystery. However, together we're able to go through it, as well as not necessarily the whole together. You have the flexibility to fall, but when you fall forward. And when you fall better in a higher position, because once you have the evaluation and the evaluators, they give you truly constructive criticism that makes you better and better and better and continues on.
So I was assigned as the chief judge in Arabian Stallions Toastmasters Club contest, which happened last year in 2022. For me, that task was challenging, mainly because there is an aspect of it that you cannot control. So for context, you are responsible for bringing a jury of judges, 6 people minimum. Depending on the situation, they can be flexible to have less, but the number is not small. And you have to follow the Toastmasters Club contest rule book. You have to make sure that all of the documents for the judges are printed and prepared. The judges are aware, the number of contestants, their names, all of these arrangements. That is the easy part. But the hard part is making sure that these judges not only come on time, but come in the first place. And for me, that was very challenging because I had to speak and see if other people can come and fill their place at a very short notice. I also had to calm myself because that was a very stressful situation. It was my first time being a chief judge.
I've been a member of Arabian Stallions since 2008 and 2008 or 2009. So since I joined, I have learned a lot. I have met great friends. I have delivered many speeches, and I am truly grateful to the organization Toastmasters and Arabian Stallions for giving me the opportunity to express my ideas without being insulted. Because the biggest fear I had was speaking in front of people. But Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, I can speak in front of thousands of people now. In 2017, I met the president of Toastmasters. He visited Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. I asked him, he was so humble, so kind, and so magnetic personality. I said, sir, I was about to quit Toastmasters. I completed my DTM, I won many contests, participated in many contests. He looked at me and smiled and he said, you haven't even started, my friend. You have learned this is your time to give back to the community. This is your time to give back what you have learned.
Like I said, Arabian Stallions is my family. Arabian Stallions is my home. Whenever I think of Toastmasters, the first thing that comes to my mind is Arabian Stallions. So it's not just a club for me. It is an important part of my life, and it is something that has helped me grow personally and professionally. I have already served at Arabian Stallions in the executive committee. So in Toastmasters, we have something called an executive committee, where you have a set of members who serve the club as the executive committee for a tenure of 6 months to a year. So the executive committee usually comprises of president, vice president of education, vice president of membership, vice president of public relations, club secretary, a logistics manager, which we call sergeant at arms, etc. So during my past 9 years here, I've already served almost in every role of the executive committee. And what I believe is more important than just serving in an official position is that anybody who joins the club anew, you make him feel as if that he is not joined a new club. Rather, this is something that he was looking for already, where it's not a new journey for him, it is something that he has found. And making people feel that is the most important part, and adding to their journey as Arabian Stallion has added to mine.
Well, that's a very good question, because contributing to success of a club, you have to find out a place where you actually feel where you can do something. If you want to do everything, it's not possible, and if you want to not be able to do something also, that's not possible. So I think one of the important things that is you should mentor. I think mentorship is a very important aspect to see how you can give back. So I think giving back to whatever little I have learned over the years, I think that has helped me a lot.
I believe all of the members are ambassadors. So all of them, whenever they distribute around the globe, they bring in to Toastmasters Arabian Stallions.
Actually, it's not just about the club. Like, if you are a great speaker wherever you go, like, it's not just about serving Arabian Stallions, it's more about not just serving Arabian Stallions or Toastmasters, it's about serving everyone. Like, if you are a great speaker, you talk to everyone, you can inspire them, like, they can also, like, you can tell your story, like, they can also be a great speaker as well.
There is a misconception. The people think, many people, they think that if you cannot give feedback, if you cannot find the errors, if you cannot find the areas of improvement in someone or in someone's speech, then you are not competent. Unfortunately, this is not true. If you find good, say that. Because people, the best thing that you can give to the people is give them respect. And the second best thing is give them love. And the third best thing is make them feel great. And you can do this if you know how to give feedback.
When it comes to giving and receiving feedback, I think the most important part is that you set the tone at the beginning, that any feedback that you've given is solely for the growth of the other person, where it is not coming from one person to another person, but it is coming from one leader to another leader, one communicator to another communicator. And the sole purpose of this feedback is constructive criticism. If people are put in that mindset, put in that headspace where they know that this is not coming from a place of negativity, people respond to feedback much better. Where if they feel at heart that it's not coming from a bad place, that is the most important part, I feel. Where people understand you, that your goal is not to hurt them, your goal is not to judge them, your goal is just to help them improve.
It is difficult when somebody who has a feedback to give, you can't necessarily find out, I think you can't gauge how that person wants to actually say. It is a very individualistic approach. It's something which I don't think should have any personal meaning where you feel that your self-pride and your ego gets hurt. So I think that should be completely avoided and taken off.
When it comes to feedback, constructive feedback to be specific, it's a skill. Just like when you give public speeches, it's also a skill to provide feedback to others. And you have to be objective. It shouldn't be personal. The tone that you use with the speaker, whether they are beginner speakers or experienced speakers, really makes a difference. So I'll start with giving the feedback. Having good listening skills is very important. Knowing what are the things to focus on and what are the things that are not very important, and also the context of giving the feedback, because in Toastmasters you deliver different projects and these projects have different criteria. So knowing how to take all of these things into consideration and giving your feedback is something that you have to do more than once so that you can master it. Now, for receiving feedback, I would simply say you have to be open-minded. You have to understand that the other person may not be that experienced. That person does not know you very well, and that person will have their own view of you, but it's a partial view. It's not you as a whole. So you should absorb whatever is said without taking it too personal or taking it 100%. You should always get feedback from multiple people.
You know, we went through, most of the people, living people in the world today, most of us went through the toughest time of our lives together during COVID. And because that was the time when it was very difficult to motivate someone to become a good speaker, to motivate someone to become a leader. Because people were losing jobs, people were losing lives, people were losing their loved ones. And I was also very depressed. And I try to motivate people, I try to inspire them with my thoughts, the words, actions. But that time I was so depressed. I did not have the courage to motivate them. I would like to share a few words that in those days, in Urdu, मैं मानता हूँ वबा के दिन हैं, मगर ये दिन भी खुदा के दिन हैं. दिलों से मायूसियाँ निकालो, जरा सा आगे शिफा के दिन है. So these 4 lines changed my perspective, and they gave me so much motivation and a new, energy. So my dear friends, my message to everyone is, words can change lives.
That's actually very difficult, because what happens is once you're very committed in Toastmasters, you're branded as a Toastmaster, not just in your friends and your family, but all over. So people start giving that title to you. The motivation is good people, a space of growth where you can explore your individual self. And like I said, once a week, I always tell people it's just a matter of 2 hours. Come down, chill, talk to people, have fun, be on the stage, make a little bit of a collaboration on certain people's projects, and that's how I stay motivated. That helps me a lot.
Can't view Arabian Toastmasters, Arabian Stallions in any negative way, again due to the people. The people there, whenever we meet our president, all of the team, all of the members, they're just, and even the guests, whoever are in that environment, it's full of positivity and full of, you just see room for improvement, or you see constructive criticism, or you see a thing that is growing. It's not small, it's not weak, everything and everyone has potential.
What actually happens, Toastmasters is actually, it's more than a club. Our club name is called Arabian Stallions. It's more than a club. When I look beyond our club, the big activities, something like that, then I have been motivated. I was inspired by so many good speakers, the activities. This is not only about the public speaking, it also gives so many areas to develop our own self in our professional life, something like that. So in the beginning, there was no motivation to join Arabian Stallions, but trust me, the moment it was growing gradually and rapidly, motivation, inspiration, everything was just bumping around.
We always look for some place where we can find our true self, and in Arabian Stallions I always felt that I was allowed to be myself. I didn't have to change who I was outside and still continue to grow. So that is one of the best things I like about Arabian Stallions.
At first, I love experiencing new things, and it was a new experience, meeting new people. I enjoyed the community. And
actually, it's not about Arabian Stallions, it's about why Toastmasters. As I told you that I joined Toastmasters as a gavel, but I didn't stick to it, because you can't force yourself into some things. Like you can't force, like everyone knows the advantage of public speaking, but not everyone can step up at Toastmasters and speak in front of an audience. Like, I'm not saying I'm good at it, but it takes courage to just acknowledge that you need to work on it. So actually it wasn't that. There are many benefits of being a great public speaker. We all know that it helps you in your work, in your personal life, in your career. But for me, it was something I thought that being a great speaker, I could give back to society. Like
the impact of the education program of Toastmasters International, and I tell this to everybody even who are not from Toastmasters, is that there's been a lot of effort that has been put into making the modules, formulating the projects, explaining in detail how a speaker has to perform. When you read the evaluation sheets of every project, it feels like you are actually imagining yourself speaking, and that is one of the best things. And there's a lot of effort, and this is almost a 100-year organization. So it goes to show the length and they go through in empowering the members. So that was one of the key aspects, and till date, the Pathways program also continues to empower people and help them become better speakers.
Positive energy throughout the week, especially we meet by the end of the week. So it's a great booster, honestly. Yeah.
Actually, there is also a positive side and a negative side, but I'll look at the positive. Like I get an opportunity to hang out with people much older than me, so get their pearls of wisdom, their point of view, and everyone has a different personality. One of the benefits of Toastmaster is that when you come to Toastmasters, you'll meet people from different backgrounds, from different walks of life.
According to various scientific researches, 1 million years ago, human created a very lethal weapon that could destroy almost the entire world. We started talking. So my dear friends, my message to everyone is, please use your words wisely. And before using your words, you need to learn to listen. You need to learn to listen actively. And what is active listening? You will, when you come to Arabian Stallions, and when you will meet people, and we will share with you the lessons that we learned throughout our lives, and we will find many great people you will find a family that respects you, a family that loves you, and a family that cares for you. And also, they say once you know what you can get out of Toastmasters, you can never get out of Toastmasters. Thank you.
So, a message from a Toastmasters. So just forget about public speaking or speaking. Nobody would like to be like Obama or Toastmaster Tahir Khurshid or like Trump. Okay, so speaking skills are one of the best skills. So what I want everybody, if you become a Toastmasters, even if you're not a Toastmaster, if you practice speaking with people, one fine day you will be a good speaker, and a good speaker really makes a huge difference. You can see in the world the amazing speakers, and they are actually dominating the whole world. They are very fistful people in the world. And can you believe their public speaking magic? If they can say to so many people, jump from a building, people are ready to jump because they have magic there in their speaking skills. So this is my last message, and this is one of the best platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, Toastmaster is, and this platform is almost free. You have to pay $6 to $7 a week, and you are getting huge benefit from you're learning every week. You're learning from each other. You can ask the in charge. There should be contact. You can contact anybody from any nearby club, and you will be more than welcome to come their club and join their meetings. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I am inviting all of you to our club here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Our club name is called Arabian Stallions, and if you really want to know more about Toastmaster, and if you really want to enjoy what Toastmaster is all about, and casually and very easily and light-minded, very beautiful environment, as if even a non-speaking speaker can speak out in our club. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you in our club, which is called Arabian Stallions, here in Zamil Tower, 8th floor. And Hassan, thank you so much, man, for this interview. I'm really happy and honored to be on your channel. Thank you, Hassan. All the way best.
I think the key takeaway message I'd like to give is communication, especially public communication, speaking impromptu, speaking on your feet where you have not had time to prepare, is one of the most important skills a human being can possess. And Arabian Stallions is the right place for you to come hone that skill. So work on those skills, join us, we can help you with it. Me and my mentors, my friends, the club executive committee will certainly love to have you and help you grow. Thank you.
So I always feel that there is only one thing and one thing that from a very early age everybody should look into is communication. I'm not saying public speaking, but the art of communication is, personally I have felt that this is the biggest asset that you can have in today's world. And for me, whenever I go to speak in front of a younger audience, I always encourage them to speak out, because the more you learn to speak out, the more you want to put your views forward, the more confident you are that what you're saying is and will be listened and heard. So what else is better when you're standing in front of people and they listen to you and they want to accept what you're saying? That's, I think, empowering enough.
Go to Toastmasters because it's the gym for communication with people.
So the message that I would like to give to both Arabian Stallions and to Toastmasters members in general is that for Arabian Stallions, just keep on coming to the meetings. It's like going to the gym. So if you go to the gym once, it's not going to benefit you. And even if you keep on coming, you will get the benefit, but if you don't come regularly, it's also not going to benefit you, and it will be harder for you to see the results. So just keep on coming regularly and try to learn slowly. Don't rush it too fast. If you try to rush learning so fast and you want to get the triple crown or certain awards or completing a pathway, all of these will come in due time.
So I'll keep it brief. I'll keep it to Toastmasters. So if you want to join Toastmasters and you think that you aren't a natural speaker and it's something you don't have, so all your judgments, they're temporary. All your judgments are temporary. So if you join Toastmasters and if you believe you can change yourself, you can be a great speaker, eventually you will change your behaviors. So it takes time. You have to be regular with Toastmasters, and you know, the thing about Toastmasters is it's not that you're reading or you're watching others speak. You will also get a chance to speak. So we learn by doing. At Toastmasters we believe that we learn by doing, and when you join Toastmasters you will see that there's a supportive community. Everyone will be here to guide you, to help you, to appreciate you. So that's my message.